From an industrial unit in the Black Country, a catering business of 20 years attempts to completely reinvent themselves by designing and manufacturing their own custom-made concessions. 25,000 metres of timber, 5,000 labour hours. Will they make it?
It is 6th of January. We're in the yard. Normally, January, February are quiet for us. We made a decision part of the way through last year, around September time, that we were going to create more semi-permanent looking kiosk style concessions, but with marquees behind them. So fascias essentially. Now we've always done fascias, but it was very obvious it was marquees behind, and I think it looked good, but I think it could have looked better. When I've put this to especially my larger clients, they are really keen to see this. So we've been, for the few weeks, we've been looking at it, drawing some plans, kind of get an idea how we can build these efficiently so they're quick to go up and down, but are also safe in the wind and look great. It's not an easy thing to do when you're working for marquees, but we've got a fairly good idea how to do it now. What has helped us is that a lot of our clients now, we've made a commitment to pre-building, so we'll build them a day or a few days before. So it does take the pressure off kind of trying to get there, get everything up, and then get the food on and meet the time for the attendance to start. I've got some basic sketches. They're certainly not CAD drawings, that's for sure. And we're going to go down to the wood yard. This particular business is local to us. Timber merchants, shed builders, fence builders, and they've done some stuff for me in the past. So he's going to have a little look at it, see if he can do it for me. We've always been banner based, so our signage has always been banners, and they work really good from the perspective of they're light and they're easy to roll up. But the amount of workload that we now have, up and down too much, they get damaged really easily. You know, they tend to stretch, they start to sag, they don't look as great. So for me, the aesthetics of it need to be better. Obviously, you can see behind us, it's really basic construction. So we have got timber counters. Those are solid timber counters, and they form part of ballast to hold that marquee down. They're pretty heavy, but obviously with us transporting in trucks, we've got the ability to be able to do it this way. Then all they are is there's a couple of timber poles that are fixed onto the marquees. These have to be ballast from the back very firmly to make sure they don't tip in the wind with all the weight on the front. And then what we're going to be doing is, currently we would have had a banner on there, a menu that hangs down, and then we'd have dressed it with all of our florals and everything else. What we're going to do with this now is we're going to actually create timber fascias with timber sides. So really it creates almost like a large chalet, a shipping container look, or a kiosk, and it will have a hatch in it which will be closable and lockable. It's not an easy thing to do because they've got to be lightweight, they've got to be really safe, they've obviously got to be suitable to be in high winds as well. So, but we think we've got there with the design. We just need a physical sample so that we can build it all up, try it, test it, and just make sure it works. What we used to do is we would have them on the side here, and the idea of having them on the side is that the banners were measured, that when you put these on the side and the pole on the side, that side, the distance between that was just a little bit short on the banners, so that by the time you pulled them tight on a carabiner hook and clipped them in, it kept them lovely and flush. And by the time we put the menus on the bottom, the weight of those menus would pull the bottoms flush, so they would look lovely. And it worked okay, but in the wind, when the wind blew forward, it used to try and pull the poles round to the front because of just the kind of working like a sail. Whereas actually, I've decided to do it this way with the wooden fascias, where I've moved the pole to the front and fixed it between the counter and the pole, and by doing it that way, it's very, very strong. And I had a little bit of a moment where I thought, blimey, have I been doing this for this long, and something as obvious as that has made this much more secure? What I could have just done is put them on the front and made the banner shorter, which would have made a lot more sense. But obviously, with us being very, very busy, it's something we just haven't really looked at. But now I've took a bit of time on my own up here while my staff are resting. I realised this. I thought, well, I should have done that way in the first place, but look, every day's a school day, eh? Let's see what you think we could, and see if you can price it for us. Got some photos and I didn't do very well in art, mate. So I wanted to build a piece that basically one solid piece that goes like that. Yeah. What I wanted to try and do is see if you could do it out of something lightweight that's similar to probably flat, ideally, rather than
like matchboard.
Could work, yeah. I mean, it's quite thick, isn't it?
I can get it thinner. I can get 8. I can get 12 mil.
Yeah.
These are just some gates I've made for the customer. I mean, we can frame it in 3x2 like that.
I'd say it's too thick, yeah. It'll be very heavy. I think that will.
So we can use these, but it's 3 metres, isn't it?
3 metres, quite big.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, I think that'd be fine, but that's better.
See what I mean?
Yeah, because the reason why, like, when I come down originally...
See them 6 foot? Would you get away with 6 foot, or has you got to be 2 metres?
No, I think it. Well, what's the difference in 2 metres and 6 foot? I suppose. No, we could probably get away with it.
So you want it as light as possible?
Literally as light as possible, yeah. Light as possible, but obviously it's got to withstand the wind. Well, I mean, they're strong, aren't they? What that is. It's just what would you go with that way?
See, what we could do, I could cut 3x2 down.
Okay, yeah.
So it'd be the same as that?
Same size as that, yeah. I did think about feather edge, and
so basically like that. Then we just your counter. So don't forget this is as bad as it looks. This is because it's soaking wet.
Yeah.
That'll dry out lovely, but you can still paint it. Call a profile here.
Yeah.
So it'd be a slightly bigger profile.
Yeah.
This.
It gives you the flexibility with the shrinkage.
This is what we call matchboard.
Yeah.
Which is basically we just use for gates.
Yeah.
We'll frame the edge and we'll frame the bottom here.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Is that okay?
That'd be perfect. Quote me for that, bud.
Leave it with me.
Yeah. All right. Sorted. Right.
In a rush, or?
Well, I mean, if you can get me a prototype when like as soon as you think you can do it, and then what I'll do is what I want to do is I want to check it all and give it enough time to roll it out. I'd like to try and get it rolled out by March, you see, so I could do with checking it. 'Cause one of the things I've got to do is my biggest clients, my horse racing clients, they want me to paint it up, do it how I'm going to do it, send it to them. So what do you think is realistic? Time wise?
Yeah, week or so.
A week or so. All right, sounds.
A week, whatever.
Yeah, all right. Let's do it.
How many are you thinking?
Well, we've got 20 concessions that we'll need doing eventually. Okay. So we might go, let's get the one done, right, and then check it all, make sure that works. So I might go, right, do the first 10, and then do the next 10.
Do you want me to just do the front for now, or do you want the sides as well?
If you could do me the front and side, so I could photograph and send it to the client, and then once they've signed off on it and they're happy with it, we can roll with it. Let me know about the price, bud, would you?
I'll text you later.
All right, Sam. Thanks, bud. See you in a bit. Can't get a bit of an idea now. This is the first prototype that's been built. It's all timber. It's much safer in the wind, believe it or not, which you would think it wouldn't be, but it is, and that's because of firm structure. We're able to actually prop it and secure it much better. Whereas when we had banners at the top there, there's no rigidity in the structure, and because of that, it would be very difficult to kind of get it secure. With this, we were concerned about wind, but actually we've had this up all weekend in quite high winds, and it hasn't even moved. So we're really happy with that. It is just a prototype. This one won't be going into production. It's a bit heavy. The bottom counter, we're using 19mm timber. We need to use 9mm. So we'll be pulling some out of that, and the structure will be based on the frame, not the fascia timber. But this is kind of what it will look like. There's no branding on it yet. There will be brand signs at the top. There'll be menu signs on the sides there. There will be some lighting on them for night events and so on and so forth. We were going to have somebody make these for us. Decided we're going to make them ourselves because we can. We've got the facilities here to do it. We've got all the tools. We've got everything. So, and it's the quiet time of year, so it makes sense for us to do it. So we're going to order all the timber. Scott's just back upstairs now adjusting the plans. John's probably going to go and fetch it in the truck. Once it's all stacked up here, then we're probably going to have a week or however long it's going to take with a few people on it, and we're just going to get all these built up and start getting them painted, put into the trucks, the branding all designed for it, and get ready to have these all rolled out by March. So originally put our original counters in, and we created this to actually be that way round, and it would sit on top of our existing counters that we've already got, but it's very heavy. Now we can make it lighter because it's 19mm timber. We're going to use 9mm, but when we brought it back, we were a bit concerned because we don't really feel comfortable finding a way of putting that up high on top of our counters. And we parked it inside the unit, and we were standing there kind of looking at it, and I got some of my team in, and Anita, one of my site managers, said to me, "Why don't you just turn it round?" So we reversed it, and so that actually is upside down, which is one of the reasons why there's a trim on the bottom of it, because that was the top. And it was a genius move, as simple as that is. Sometimes when you've looked at something long enough, it all becomes a blur. And with a nice pair of fresh eyes, she looked at it and went, "Turn it round." And she said that way then, all of the weight is on the bottom. The uprisers are connected to the bottom, not the top, for the menu, which makes sense. And then let's just make a top section, which is lighter. This is all solid and sitting on the bottom. And what we may be doing, if we can get it to be the right weight, is we may be putting this hinged, so when it comes down, it closes as a flap. And by the time we finish these and we've added all the branding to them and everything else, they're going to look really, really smart. And you know, if you imagine putting 10 of these in a row and you've got mac and cheese and burgers and everything else, they're going to lift our aesthetics. So which I personally felt we needed to do this year. It's a bit basic, and it is in a yard in Brierley Hill, so you know it's not in a beautiful racecourse somewhere or stately home. But once this is finished, branded, flashed up properly, and in the right backdrop, they'll look first class.
So this is the framework for our new fascias, and there's a lot of them to build.
How many exactly?
There is in total 15 fronts and 18 sides. So I'm going to be busy.
We've got Scott, who's a chippy today, so some days he's an operational director, other days we pretty much cover it all, don't you, Scott? Fortunately, Scott's very good at this. We made a decision really based on our timber supplier who's going to make these for us not being able to hit the deadline. Scott said, look, free me up for a week or so, I'll get these done. He's pretty much done all the top panels for the first truck. He's now starting the bottom panels, then he'll have the side panels to do. He's hoping to have these top and bottom panels done by Friday, which is tomorrow. Our guys will be able to paint those, then it'll just be the side panels to go. Once we've done that, Scott's going to jump on getting all the new branding done. That'll be sent out to Andy, our signage supplier. He'll get those all done, and hopefully we can link the whole thing together in, say, about 2 weeks' time. And then we want to get it out onto an event, even though the other trucks won't be done yet, just so we can have a look at it, fine-tune it, and make sure that it looks great on site, make sure all our clients are happy. But we're really excited about this, to be honest. This is a really, really big step up in aesthetics for us, which is pretty much the only area we feel like is probably behind the rest. So we're pretty excited. It kind of works really having your ops director do this, because he's so strategic with his planning that basically you can see probably some of these timbers, they've got all the markings on them and all the cuts on them. So basically he's done all the cuts based on a plan that he drew in the office. So he's drawn a full plan for these, like he was, you know, building a house, and then done all the cuts based on his plan, so that all the cuts were pre-done, and then now he's all just kind of putting it all together and it's all going together perfect. So it kind of works, I just don't have the patience for that. I'd have been screwing it all together, but it would look like a bag of chips. So it's probably a good job Scott's doing it.
Looking at it as it is now without any branding on it, it looks really black. So what I've done is put it on a computer, tried to kind of do it so that we've got an idea of what it will look like. But because it's on a computer, white looks really white, so it makes the black look even blacker. So what we've got to do is I've got some prototype menus, slap something together, we'll put it on there and see what it looks like in real life, and then we'll base the colour of the whole concession off the way it looks in real life. For the first time ever, we've actually kept this up for about a week and a half now, and it's survived loads of wind. We've done a few tests with ways to keep it structurally safe, because our concern was having it so heavy on the front, we weren't sure whether that was going to be a bit of a safety risk, but actually it's stronger than ever. So it's actually all the worries that we had before with using banners have gone.
You filming this for? You know, yesterday he had anxiety in case you filmed this exact situation where something went wrong, and now you're here again while it's actually happening.
I'm leaving. Bye.
What do you think I was going to do?
So this, right.
Do you even know me at all?
Me last night when James came down, he was like, I think I was alright on the camera, but you know what I was worried about? He's going to film and someone's, and then all of a sudden he's gone, right, something's gone wrong, and you're like,
Exactly 2 inches. Yeah. Base everything off. Tannalised. Outdoor wood for use outdoors. Yeah. Sent John off. Go and get the wood.
Yeah.
Come back with indoor wood.
Yeah. Takes a few mil off.
So when I've done all these things, isn't a few mil. So then.
It's too bad. Have you tried one?
Not yet.
Nah, I don't think it's be too bad. I don't think they're 3 minutes. At the top they are.
At the top they're perfect because they're braced together by the exact measurements that I've done. At the bottom, the thing is it's doing that now. So
by how much?
By whatever that was.
Well, you know, because you're going that way. You won't tell.
I'm going that way, but then I'm trimming it down, aren't I? Yeah.
You won't tell them.
So if I trim it down,
if it was that way, you would, because you've got straight lines that way. So what's going to happen is it's going to look like that. But because they're that way, when you trim them, you won't know.
When you put two together, won't you see that there's a in the middle?
It's that way though, isn't it?
No, but these are next to each other. So these are in theory going like that.
Yeah, but because they're going this way, aren't they? Everything's going that way now.
Yeah.
Right, because it's going that way. When you chop the ends off, you won't be able to tell that it's like that.
But when I put the other one next to it, and they're both kind of like that, aren't they?
Do you mean as in like when you put these up?
Yeah.
Once you put these into a public space, I don't think you'll know.
I noticed. What I'm going to say is, do you want me to put these on? Yeah, start again. Do you want me to put these on, trim them down, so we're kind of like, it looks square based on these? So if I rip a straight
that's
line down
kind of what I'm
these.
saying. You know when you strip the end off that, you won't even know.
So shall I not trim them, is what I'm saying? So what I was doing was, let's say...
oh, you mean not trim before you fit them?
Yeah, no. So I was trimming them all down to size, right, put them on, as they go over it will be square, it will be perfect.
Yeah.
Right, but what I was going to do, to give it the flush edge to put the strip on, I've got to go along with the multi-tool I've not and rip it all against the wood.
Yeah.
So did you see what I was doing with the top?
Yeah, you're just cutting it across.
And had that slither.
Yeah.
I was doing that down the side, so when I put the trim on, it hangs over the edges.
Yeah.
But if I make these stick out so it looks square on the side, I won't be able to put the trim on.
No, don't do that. Just put them on.
Yeah.
Strip it right down the edge.
Yeah.
So you've got the trim on, right?
Yeah.
Because it's that way.
Yeah.
You won't tell that that's like that.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
All you'll do is it'll look straight.
Yeah.
But actually it isn't. But then if they were that way and you were cutting them like that, you'd have this straight edge and it'd be thin there and fat there.
Yeah.
But on this, it's too big to notice.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So
cool. It's not far away anyway. It's just like...
that'll be alright, that will.
It's me being me.
Once you put the trim on that, if you actually look at that now, that isn't actually far off the size.
No, it's not.
Because you can't go off that, because that's an addition. It's off that. So if you look at that, there's probably half a centimetre.
It's not good enough.
Half a centimetre each side, probably. Slightly different. But don't forget as well, we could put a bigger trim on it.
Well, we have got a bit bigger trim now.
Is it bigger?
Yeah.
Oh well, I don't think that's going to be a problem.
I'll say bigger, it's the fat one that I've got.
You know, the main thing is that it fits the marquee right. The marquee isn't square anyway, is it? No. Because they move in the wind and everything else. So as long as they are...
That's what I've designed it for. So
when the legs move on the bottom, it fits in that full bill. Oh yes, brilliant though.
There is 5 fronts per truck, 6 sides, which is in frame terms 10 fronts and 12 sides across 3 trucks, so 66 frames into total.
Plus there's the extras, isn't there? So for when we swell, Sorry, did I not mention that to you as well? Sorry, mate. Don't forget them as well. We won't talk about them as well because otherwise he might feel like he's never going to get it. He's never going to finish it. We are doing the others, we've got. I mean, we need about 25 trading kits, don't we, all together?
Yeah.
To get us going. So they're the ones that are out almost on a weekly basis. So we probably, but you know, we haven't got to get them done immediately. So we can break that up a little bit so he doesn't lose his mind. So plus also he has actually got his actual job to do. So we'll probably make these. Probably look at trying to get 3 trucks worth done by March. That'll give us kind of the core base to feed the clients that need them urgently. And then we'll add on to that as we go along. So obviously once now we've got the plan and kind of the structure, it's not actually that bad for Scott to put these together. He puts them together quite quick. So but we're definitely doing it.
What did you just say?
Nothing, mate. Nothing at all.
Turn it around pretty quick, even though they're all the wrong size, isn't it? Like you said.
No, I definitely didn't say we will be doing them all, and don't tell Scott. I didn't say that.
He goes down with him onto the milk rolls.
Yeah.
But they're not milk rolls, are they?
No, but you know, like just for bread, you know, something like today we've sent the corporate out with the bread rolls for their breakfast packs.
They're nice, nice for pork.
Yeah, but that's one of the reasons they've sent them. That's why I sent the big ones.
Yeah.
Because you know our pork rolls.
I wonder if a pork would look better on a roll.
Well, they're hot dog rolls, but they're not big enough for that. But you know how our torpedoes are big?
Yeah.
But they're not cheap, are they? No. So we need to make sure that there's value for money.
Yeah.
So I think they get a double portion. I mean, they're not huge these. I don't think they have the wow factor of the torpedoes. Mm-hmm. But they are a good size roll.
Yeah.
But that one, is more for breakfast. Go on, John, carry on, bud. Yeah. That's more for the breakfast rolls, then.
Yeah.
So, let's feel them. Feel them, they feel nice.
Oh, they're good.
Feel nice. I know they were come yesterday. But But they are, the bread suit, he did say our bread's good.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So basically the stage right now is we've got our base sections, we've got our top sections. The guys are just painting the top side sections. I'm about to frame up the bottom side sections, and then from then it'll be joining it all together, getting all the fixings, and then hopefully by the end of this week we'll have something that resembles a full truck's worth of stuff ready to go, pretty much. A jig to make my life easier and faster, so that I can measure all the wood, move this down, bang the wood against it, chop it all down without having to measure it every time.
So how many of those have you got to do?
Ta-da!
All of those?
Eventually, yeah. So got to do 12 of these cuts, and then there's the uprights to do. So I mean this section's quite easy. A few of the bits that take loads of cuts.
We're not far away now of putting up the first potential trading unit. So we've got the signage there, which is done with the new logos that we're going to be using. We're just masking off now the final panel, so you can probably see from that one over there. We're possibly going to build one outside, maybe soon. Scott's around the corner, just drilling all of the poles to get all the kind of bolt holes in the right places. So we're nearly close to putting the first unit up and having a look at how it looks and see whether or not we like it. So yeah, so we're he's even going to chop the hinges in like a door, so that it is, you know, all the detail is like really specific, very.
Which want them to last as well.
Yeah, the qualities. I mean, the quality of everything that you're doing and putting together is.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think I would have had the patience for it, but he definitely has.
So at the minute, I'm quite glad to see this part because it means the first truckload is pretty much ready to go together. Obviously, it's the first time we'll see the actual thing come together. So as I just said, there'll be like a few tweaks. But yeah, I'm just glad to be at this stage now.
It's quite a long time, isn't it now? What have we been working on this now since like second week of Jan?
Yeah.
You know, everything from kind of design and concept.
Yeah.
Trying to work out how it will go together to be quick going up, quick coming down, look semi-permanent, be safe in the wind, and a few other details like we were, you know, like branding and other things, isn't it? Colour scheme, and we must have changed 20 times, haven't we? We're going grey, then we were going kind of like all wood, then we were going black, then we were going to like a type of green, weren't we? Then we did a black and white. We felt it was too stark. Yeah, it was just. There's been pretty much the same photos sent to each other over about 10 times going, what about this though? Yeah, but we've looked at that one already. I like it though, do you? Yeah, I do like that actually, yeah. And then the next day, no, actually not that one, this one. And then it's gone back and forth. But we think we're at a point now where we've got a really nice design. It's contemporary, it's quality, and it's really maintainable. So the black that we're using is kind of, it really shows it shows the grain in the wood, so it looks really nice, but it is a shed paint, so it means that it's quick drying. So when we get to site, we put everything up. Every single time we do a build, they're going to get a lick of paint over. So every time we go out, one of our clients described it as, I want to see it like a new house every time you arrive here. Now for a street food operation, that's quite difficult to do. Any street foodies out there will know that one of the biggest things that you have a headache with is equipment getting damaged and, you know, things getting bashed and, you know, signage getting marked or dirty. So, you know, constant maintenance and constant cleaning is a real big thing for street foodies. So to have an expectation from your clients that they want a new house feel every time you arrive on site is not easy, but we've found a solution to how we can do it, and we're going to achieve it, because if that's what they want, that's what they'll get. It's a bit hard to picture it there, obviously, but that's the kind of look we're going to. So we've got timber and black, and it breaks it up a little bit, and then you'll see when we get these up, we'll have a planter on the top of there with all greenery coming in. The planter's a similar colour to that. One of the things we're trying to work out is the border size for the top. So we have done a computer design, which we've just looked at, and we think a thicker border than what we've got on the lower frames, so that we've got plenty of timber to stain, and we'll break it up, but then the border isn't too big or too small. Obviously these will sit there, but it's wet at the moment, so they will sit there on your order here, and then this will be hinged to fit onto the top, and it will flap down. So that basically, as this flaps down, it's quick to get up. We can drop it down at night time, so it stops it from being up in the wind with no one on site to manage it. But also, as it flaps down, it will actually, the signage will be between the two, the top and the bottom. So in transport, it will protect all the signage. Pressure, John, but like we're going to see how crispy borders are. John's another OCD, so that's coming out alright, John. That's alright, that is. No pressure. Look at that. Nice, that is, John. Done it right there, mate.
Just got to wait for that to dry a bit and then put the tape around that to do the varnish.
Yeah, that's it. So remask it, revarnish.
Yeah.
It only wants one coat, doesn't it?
That's had 2 coats now.
That one,
We'll
yeah.
need another one.
Yeah.
But I'll
Single
put
coat.
a single coat on that now before
Yeah.
you take it outside to protect it.
Obviously, one of the things, these are the poles that sit back and are fixed to the structure, so it's really important all the holes are in the same place, because the poles will get mixed up, they'll go into different trucks, they'll go with different kits, different fronts, so everything needs to be absolutely uniform down to the millimetre. So Scott's created here a template for all the pole holes, so when we drill these, as long as we clamp them even on the end, everything will be the same. So when it goes out, as long as it's drilled onto the fronts the same, which is what Scott's going to start doing now, everything should be completely uniform and always go together perfect. So they are light. I don't know the top on, but they are light. What's that top then, mate? We're going to build it there. We're going to attach the poles. We're going to drill it there, and then we're going to build it there. So that's quite flat there. So he's going to put the poles he's drilled now onto this, and then drill this front, so that basically it's completely uniform holes on everything. But he needs it. It just needs a decent space, and it's not raining. Well, it's not raining much at the moment, so it's rained pretty much every day this year, so we're going to have to just manage it. Okay.
This is really nice square field as well.
So it goes that way.
So when this opens up,
Yeah.
only get connected there.
Yeah.
And that we'll miss that one, but that
Yeah.
hole is for this side.
Yeah, because it's
it gets
universal.
used up, it's universal.
Yeah.
So when these are ready to go, will they already be hinged so they don't have to do this?
So
Yeah,
there'll be hinge there, basically. And all that'll happen now is there'll be hinges there, same over that side, twin hinges. So obviously menus are there, branding is there, and then you'll take this top bolt out, which Scott's just drilling now. So there'll be a bolt there and a bolt on that side, and obviously the hinges hold it in the middle. Is the guys will just put the steps there, undo a bolt, that will hinge down, which will automatically create a flap to close this. But also for transport, once that comes down, it'll all go in one panel. We've put it in as 2 because it's not fixed yet. But once it goes, it becomes one panel, and that also drops it to the height that fits into our trucks. They stack really well, and as that comes down, it automatically closes all the signage, almost sandwiches it inside, so it doesn't get damaged in transport. It's kind of working on multiple levels, really. So speed, take it down at night for wind, take it down at night for security, to bringing it to a size that fits into the trucks, and it's all been done where the test panel that we just removed is very heavy. We've rebuilt them, but with using lighter materials, so it's still heavy enough to ballast, because that's part of what these are for, to hold the marquees down in wind, but they're not too heavy for one, our staff to move around, and 2 for transportation in the trucks. There's like, what did we spend on that? £1,000?
Right, yeah.
£1,000 on artificial plants, so we'll use what we can, I think, but by the time we put all them out, we won't have enough, will we?
No.
So we're going to need more anyway. But I think let's do what you've done with the other planters, and let's get them fixed. So those just come off as a kit, You know, a bit like you've done with the bigger
You're going to
planters.
have to put books on then, so you
Yeah.
So with the holes there, you can just.
I think we need those slides, you know what I mean? They're almost like a bracket there, a slightly U-shape.
Yes.
But not a big U,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
thin U.
Yeah.
And if we could put 2 of those there, and then got them there and there,
Yeah.
we just go clunk,
Permanent then.
and then we just take them out and we put them away a bit like you put the planters away,
yeah.
either in a cage or something. That we don't have to keep pulling them out, because the problem with them is they get pulled out the polystyrene, don't they? And I'm just desperate to try and get the final look, but that makes me want to just go and just drill everything in straight away, which obviously can't happen in Scott's world. Everything has to be measured and remeasured and taped and then remeasured again, and a plan drawn for that. So at the moment I'm just watching until I don't upset him.
Problem solved. They'll have to go higher. A bit higher.
Well, I don't think that matters.
You had them on the lower one, didn't you?
Yeah, I don't think that matters, mate. You just put them where you think. So you hadn't taken into account the drop of the planters? Oh, mate, I thought you were supposed to be
terrible.
well organised.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, right, start again. Just scrap it all, start again. But yeah, so these are the side panels that Scott's just marking out now. We'll go and put these on in a minute. So the idea of this is pretty much a 2 metre by 2 metre panel. That will go in from the front to 2 metres back. And obviously these are 3 metre deep marquees. And then above that will sit a full 3 metre panel by 1 metre drop, which will leave a doorway. So it will box everything in on that side, apart from a door for the staff to be able to get in and out of. And that's also been measured, because obviously we use a lot of stock cages. So the stock cages that we use for transporting all our food are quite a bit smaller than the doorways. So we're able to get access in and out with our stock trolleys, and also they meet fire regs for the amount of people that we'll have in the marquees to be able to get them out.
We made all the poles universal. We can serve from the side because we can put fronts on the side.
Oh, yeah.
So there we go.
Do you mean you planned for that? You mean?
Planned for that,
Yeah, good planning, Scott.
You know for sure that I would love to have that, so it was a 90-degree angle.
You all right, mate?
You've literally goes into the groove there, look.
Sorry, John.
Got right more than me.
John. Sorry, mate. Sorry about that dust that went on over there. A couple of bits that got caught in the wind there. Sorry about
John.
Your turn, John.
I think that does more justice to the level of how perfect you've made these. I mean, that line round there, that it's even got it absolutely bang on perfect, you know what I mean? So, the next thing, isn't it? The next stage for us is, once we've got all this in, we have a look at what we can do with things like that to improve like drainage and all that stuff.
What are you thinking so far?
Happy? I think it's. I mean, if you have a look at some of these, you know, we take the mickey out of Scott for his accuracy, but obviously that's the split there of the top panel and the bottom panel, and even the tongue and groove come together by the right millimetre. So, you know, it's all going together ridiculously accurate in a minute. But he has fine-tuned everything. He's done plans, he's done measurements, he's done, you know, multi-measured everything really. So it's perfect. And obviously you can see the doorway now. Obviously it's a bit of a mess because we're in our yard, but you can see the doorway there. That's big enough to get a cage in. It's fire safe for the staff.
What do you think about this for the setup? It's not much more, is it really?
No, it's not.
Obviously, not. You won't have to drill the holes. You just literally bang these straight.
Obviously, when we're putting these up as well, you're trying to push the bolts through,
Yeah,
but the
yeah.
bolts will be in the poles. You see what I mean? So you get your bolts, get your bolts, and you push them through the poles now. To get what I mean? Obviously, those ones are that way. So these ones you'd put in, but you know, like those ones, for example, they'll be in the poles.
Right, okay.
So you know, Scott's been trying to get over the top to get the bolt in. It'll already be in.
Is that ideal though?
Why?
Just going on the truck, so they're not going to get damaged,
might get
bent or
bent,
anything like that.
bent.
Yeah.
Doubt it. They're really thick. They are.
To be honest, putting those bolts in ain't going to take much longer than anything else.
Before, it was our fascias that were essentially cable tied to the marquee, and as Scott's just mentioned, this is more like the marquees internally being fixed to our fascias, so it's much more rigid, much safer. So
It's not really a fascia at this point, is it?
it's basically a shed with a marquee roof inside, isn't it? That's what it is. At the minute as well, we're trying to work it out, aren't we?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you know, once you know where those holes go and where all the bolts go and everything else, you're literally going to grab it, aren't you? And
I
just
think
bang them in.
what we need to do is, once you've fine-tuned it, is take it all down and time how long it takes to
Yeah, I
put
think
it
that's a good shout.
We do some training with people coming in as well.
Yeah. I mean,
on. It's normally the same set of
it's normally the
team
same
anyway,
team. Yeah, we've got like a build team now, really, and so you have like a group of people who know how these go together. And obviously, a lot of our agreements with clients now is pre-building. So John will take a team in the trucks, and they'll go, and they might do 2-3 builds in one day. So they might go to a race course, build one, go to another site, build. You know, when I say build one, I mean a block. So it might be a truck with 5 concessions gets built, another truck gets fetched, goes to somewhere else, builds those 5. So it's got to be efficient to go up and down, but like John says, it doesn't feel much different putting the ones that we put up now, and they're just much better quality. We're hoping to get one branded up today because we've got the branding signs, but Scott's got to do the school run today, so he's shooting off. So we are going to leave it now for the weekend, come back next week, put the menus on, put the branding up, put the planter boxes up, put all the florals in and have a look and see how it looks with an almost finished product. We've got a new test food court flag branded that we've had sent to us. We're going to bang that up and have a look at what it looks like with all that on,
Nice.
and go from there.
I suppose we get to find out how it copes with the wind over the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to leave it up and just test it, but just to give you a little bit of an idea, but don't get run over. So to give you a bit of an idea, we've just done a little test to see. This is a marquee, obviously, and they just rock. I'm not sure if you can even see that moving. So it's very, very solid. Obviously that's a single one with both sides on. We will put a run of these, but we've got a stay system for the central marquees because the ends will obviously be very solid because of their box. And the centre marquees, to stop it kind of a big block of them doing this kind of thing, we've got a stay system that we've developed inside, and that will stop that flexing in any high winds. But I'm really, really happy with the outcome so far. I think the finished product with all the flags, the lighting, branding, menus and everything else is going to be something special. We just want to finalise the look now and check that we like how it all looks before we carry on just rolling everything out, because obviously we've got quite a lot built. So we're going to put the branding up, we're going to put the menus up, we're going to put the florals on, and then we're just going to have a bit of a look at it and see if we're happy with it. And then if we're happy with it, we're pretty much there then. Scott will continue to do all the designs because he does all the branding design as well. And he will continue to finish the designs off, send him over to Andy, our sign supplier, and he'll start getting all those signs done. And then really at that point we need to get into a flow of kind of just like a production line basically. So Scott's making up the frames, all the panelling goes on, the painting gets done, they all get stacked up, branding goes on, and then each truck gets done with the required amount of fascias that it needs. So it's difficult because our work's starting to kick in now, so we've got quite a few gigs on this week, and what we normally class as our official opening week is next week, but actually this week's busier than next week. So we're kind of classing this week as our opening week, which it's not ideal because, you know, we're still really busy getting these ready, but look, that's the way it goes. We're just trying to work out what to do about securing it really, because these at the moment we've got these made in Fomex. We may change these to dye bond, which is a lot more expensive, but it's a firmer product. So what we're going to do is, this one is going to be stood off, so these are standoffs. So the problem with putting this on standoffs at the moment, if it's not flat against the timber, it's flexy. So we need to be able to firm this up a little bit with either some backing ply or something, and then we'll put these standoffs on. These will go on, and it'll make the branding stand off the actual fascia, which is kind of how it's done. And then the menus and the order signs, they're going to go flat against that, and it's just because of the way they fold down, they need to be flat. So we're just trying to work it out now to get it right, because what Scott likes to do is make sure that absolutely everything is the same, because these signs sometimes will be getting changed and we'll be putting other brands into that fascia. So we need to be able to take that off, take the stand, unscrew the standoff screw, and when we put the next brand on, if it's a mac and cheese one or whatever else it is that we need for that client, it needs to be able to go exactly the same as the other one. So what he will do is when he drills this and makes this, he'll build a jig, same as the pole jig that we showed you, and everything will then be completely uniform, because in our business, everything gets swapped around all the time. You can't say, look, that's for truck 1, that's for truck 2, you know, that's your mac and cheese one. Everything has to be generic, because everything keeps getting swapped around. We'll have a client ring us and they might say, you know, we got to Ledger Festival last weekend, we were doing burgers in one concession, and site management came to us and said, look, we want you to change it from burgers and put something else in there. So we had to very quickly change that on site, change of branding, change of signage, change of stock, and then we sorted it for the client immediately. But that was actually on site, we changed that on build day. So everything has to be very interchangeable. So it's almost like a giant Meccano set, really. Everything is generic and goes together in a set way, but because of it makes it extremely flexible, and one of the reasons why our model is so unique.
So what are you trying to figure out here, Scott?
So basically, I want all the menus to line up pretty much exact, because that's the way I am, and just making sure that these go on, they're square and flush with the edges, and then I'm planning to make a jig so that I don't have to do this every single time. I just blast it on there, trace around it, drill the holes, put the sign up and done. And then I've marked it on there, I'm going to drill the holes in there, and I should be able to make that one and take the tape off.
I thought we might have done a plan for drilling those holes up. Sorted? Yeah. That looks square, mate. It does.
That's the important part though, because obviously all this being in rectangles, if it's not square, you're going to be able to tell.
Yeah.
So,
What about if you get wood glue on it?
ignore that part.
Looking about how to get these flags on, you see, because obviously before we went to the pole, didn't we? Now you can't see the poles anymore. What you can get is you can get flag mounts, you see.
Right.
And they basically just do a tube.
Yeah,
and they go in them.
Well, I was just about to say, could you put something that goes on here?
Yeah, well that's what I was thinking, you see.
Two things.
Of maybe on the side,
Clamps, maybe?
either on the side of the there, so you'd always have them on the left side or whatever. So you just.
Yeah.
The other problem with that is that I think rather than having flags on every unit, which I think is overkill, and an additional cost that's just not necessary. We normally put them on the ends, don't we?
Ends of blocks.
The problem is you don't know where those ends are going to be. So if we bought flag mounts, I mean those flag mounts you're looking at 27 quid a piece.
Yeah.
Right? And you could just end up having loads of them on, just in case you end up putting a flag in them.
Yeah,
and it seems a bit pointless. I think we need a better solution.
Or do you drill a whopping straight hole
Down the end of that
only at the very top?
could work.
Goes in.
I mean that probably would be the best option.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you made it so that it were quite a tight fit.
Yeah, yeah.
Just force them in.
Yeah.
I think that might work. Yeah. Maybe we just get the flag down, measure what the dimensions are, and put a drill down it.
So
I mean, there's a fair old piece of pipe on that as well. It's probably that long.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you know, if we went deep enough, we'd push that right in. I mean, we could even put a ring in the top of the pole so that they can actually just put a tie to stop the wind lifting it out.
Yeah, yeah.
Because to be honest, that would be the strongest, because you can see from that one, it's a breezy enough day and it's flopped.
Yeah.
So we also used to tie them up, didn't we?
All four sides.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's got all four sides, yeah. And if I'm honest with you, you know when you see that like that, and we're going to put the branding on next, it already starts to finish it.
Yeah.
For me, see like how that looks.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it looks good.
Time for a 17-point plan for the flagpoles then.
Yeah, he's just going to do a drawing for the flagpoles and then.
I see you got the shoes for it, Roy.
Yeah, these are my steel toe caps in these, mate. Look at that. Fill my jump. See? Don't just sit behind that desk talking total nonsense to the camera. I mean, this is, if this fits, it's literally the perfect fit. So, see, another good idea I've had there. Look, Scott, see? That's why you're the boss, mate. See? Trying to work out how to do that, and you cracked it in one, look.
It's actually all right. acceptable.
From this angle, yeah, but if you look on the side, it's like that.
It's facing forward.
And worst case scenario, if we were a bit worried they were going to blow out, we could put a ring in, so there's a way of securing them down.
Yeah.
But that is tight in there. But yes, like security wise, they're absolutely solid, aren't they? Aren't they? They're rock solid, aren't they? Absolutely rock solid.
So bearing in mind that this has been up for, how many days has this been up now?
Well, this particular one's only been up since the weekend, hasn't it? But it's been windy. It's been pretty awful, to be honest.
It's rained non-stop all weekend.
Non-stop wind and rain, horrible. Because loads of things got cancelled this weekend. My son's football got cancelled Saturday and Sunday. It was just been a horrible weekend, so it was kind of a good test. Few little bits of flaking off here, but that's because when we built it last week we hadn't waited for it to fully dry, so we just wanted to get it up so that we could leave it up over the weekend and just feel the security of it, really. But obviously as soon as we felt it, we weren't too worried about it. It's absolutely rock solid, so we're really happy with that. So other than the bit of flaking, because we put it up a bit too early, a bit too quick before it dried, it's perfect, really good. Just had a few quid and give these to the wife over the weekend for Valentine's. Pretty good that is, mate, I tell you.
That's actually really level.
That's
actually fairly level.
It's quite level, isn't it, that? Not bad.
I'm ready. I'm ready to test it.
Well, you're going to put the level on it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What do you reckon?
Can I just tell you something though before you measure it?
I don't think.
Awful. But bear in mind, we're not on even ground.
What, we're on a hill.
Yeah, and also if you look at that, look at those lines there.
Nothing above a hill that counts level.
No, but look at those lines there. It's a poor foundation, mate. That is.
To be fair, this is something majorly off there because it's definitely not minus 58 degrees.
No, I was going to say, yeah. I mean, I can see that.
Are they going to drill the boxes in every time?
Nah. So we'll have some brackets that are coming.
What 1 degree, mate? Sorry.
1% out. Not bad for either, eh? Deaf as a post, but my eyeballs are all right. They're going to have these U brackets. They're like they almost fit like that. And so there'll be a bracket that'll be on like that, and the box will have one on like that. So they'll just every time they'll go like that, and they will be fully planted properly. So like we've just dropped those in there now for the look, but they will be planted, so they're permanently planted. And they'll just lift the boxes off. They'll go in the cages with our other planters and picket fences and all the other bits that go together with that. So they can just be taken out, hooked straight on, nice and quick.
What are you thinking, Scott?
Many things. Just trying to figure out how to get these 8 holes nice and level. Obviously the branding really key that we get it nice and level. It's the first thing you see. So.
Well, you shouldn't have.
Cheers, mate. Thanks. It was for Valentine's, James. I never forgot to give them to you.
The plants, because we spoke about this, didn't we? Whether it needs to be centred, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah, just put it centre.
It's in the border, isn't it?
Put it centre and centre, and just let's go from there. Yeah. Definitely centre, but also
X and Y centre.
Yeah. Definitely look better when they're a bit fuller. So
Yeah, a bit of colour.
yeah. John's been. I mean, you've got to appreciate somebody when they care about work, especially when it's your employee. But over the weekend, I'll just show you this. John's been sending me AI versions of these boxes that he likes and asking whether or not he can have the budget to make them like this. So look. So this is what John's been sending me, asking for budget on whether or not he can do the planters like that. Now, you've got to appreciate somebody, a bit of passion. So I'm thinking of calling him Alan Titchmarsh from now on. Did John send you the AI version of the flower boxes that he wants to do?
No.
Yeah, so he's been sat at home over the weekend doing this, look, or whether he's been in here working, but look, this is what he's sending me.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Saying, can I have the budget to do it like this?
15 grand per box.
So we don't call him John anymore, okay? His name's Alan from now on. I think it's looking good. I just think we need a Feast Streat sign at the bottom. We haven't got a lot of branding on it.
Because the top one is obviously the brand of the concession.
Yeah. So it's the actual brand name rather than our company name.
Yeah.
We have got a Feast Streat logo at the bottom of it. It's very little, and then obviously we do have the flags. And it's not so much for promotion to the customers who are purchasing. It's more to potential new clients, because we're quite happy to go and work with some of our clients and almost go in, I wouldn't say ghost, because they're not asking us to go ghost, but go in and just get the job done for them. So their customers who are coming in that we're feeding on their behalf, they're not really bothered who's supplying the food to them. They're more bothered is that it's good quality and value for money, which is what they get from us. But what you do get is some people who come along and go, these are really good, I like these, I'd like to have them. Who are they? And obviously if they can't see who that is, then it's difficult for them to come and pass that work on to us. So I think maybe we just add one of those on the bottom of the counter to make sure people know.
Because you used to have one on the old ones, didn't you, on the front at the bottom when it was the circular logo?
Yeah, we did. And to be honest, we did also have them on kind of the when we went with the last batch of counters, not these, but the last batch, we did put some on, but we kind of did it in a bit of a rush, and we wanted to frame them so it wouldn't get damaged, and they got damaged really easily, so we took them off. So if we're going to put them on, they need to have a timber frame around them, so that when they're getting loaded into the vehicles, it doesn't,
they're not just scraping off.
Doesn't just rip the signs off. So because obviously these, when they fold down, they will protect all the signage, but that bottom bit wouldn't be. So it probably just wants that add in, and then we'll get these last two signs up, have a little look, and see what we think.
Probably have to be a bit lower than that if you wanted the bolts and bang in the middle, or if you want all four. You're 4 overkill. You're going to go through a thingy there as well, a main beam.
Yeah.
So you need to be above that main beam to. You go there, and if you wear your thing, yeah, that's it.
I think we go them too as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you were just saying, weren't you, about you were reading a study on black background with white writing, and how much more people read more of the text when it's laid out like that. And I don't think we ever knew anything about that. Actually, I think you said it's a recent study, but many years ago I had a dream. If it's vivid enough and it's about business, I'll wake up and I'll write, and I'll get my phone, I'll put it into my notes. We'd not long opened a business, so it would have been 20 years ago, and we were just doing basic hot dogs, but we were doing really good quality sausage in a fresh roll, and that was literally all we sold. Scott was saying at that time, I think we ought to expand the menu a little bit, and I had a dream that we rebranded, black branded with white writing, we expanded the menu. I woke up and I wrote it all down, and at first I was thinking, black, would you go with a whole black stall? That's quite an unusual thing to do. You don't really see people doing that on signage that much. Or I said, well, let's do it. So we expanded the menu, I rebranded the whole thing, and our turnover went up by about 30%. And I don't know if that was the expansion of the menu, people reading it more, but it's one of the reasons why that, you know, we've always been using our signage in that kind of way. So it's kind of pretty basic stuff. The public quite often don't need to be overloaded with information, so we keep it simple. So, you know, our brand that we do now, Street Greek, it's the name of the food, it's Greek food, and we just try and keep it as simple as possible for them to understand, because, you know, when you're busy, or you've got your children with you, or you've had a drink, or there's quite often reasons, you know, chatting away to your mates in the queue, so you need to keep it quite simple, so they choose, they can know what they want, they order it quickly, we serve it to them quickly, and we move them on. And that's probably got something to do with all that study they've just been doing regarding black with white text. Yeah, it's quite interesting, that. Yeah, I don't know where that came from, somewhere in my subconscious, I think, really, but it worked. So next one.
To me, to you.
Just think about, obviously if this goes in the trunk loose, chance, has it?
I think we need a storage solution, like a folder or case or something.
Something, yeah. What do you think then, lads? What do you think of your dad's work? Is it a pass or a fail? It's a pass. Do you like it, yeah? What do you think about the sizing? Don't think it's too bad.
I mean, if you look at like a proper shop front, really, they're huge, aren't they, shop fronts?
Yeah.
We're probably talking double that.
Yeah.
And they don't have like a huge, massive branding over the top.
Somebody said this to me on social media, quite an experienced operator, said, I love how your units look. He said, but you've missed a fundamental important part of it, and that is that your top sign's too small.
Yeah.
And I said, we haven't missed that, because that's something that I've talked about in podcasts before. I said, but our model doesn't require that anymore. Most of the time, we're on sites where we're actually not competing with other people. We are delivering a service on behalf of a client from maybe Stadia or anywhere else. And as long as our customers know where we are, that's all we need.
But I think what this does as well, you've got the food court,
Exactly. Yeah.
which is the most prominent thing there. That draws them to this. And once they get to about this distance away, they can then read the branding. They can then decide what they want, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Straightforward from there, isn't it?
And actually, the guy came back to me and said, actually, that is true. He said, your model isn't really the same as that, is it? And I said, it isn't. Our model is very unique, and our client's quite unique, and because of that, we don't need to have huge signs. I would rather it look really good than big and garish, just because people need to see it from a mile away.
And Nate said this.
Did you?
He said, like, grey or something.
Yeah, I mean, my only concern is, obviously, what we don't want to do is...
Could you stain it? A darker stain?
Yeah, you could do. Yeah, I mean, it's just I'm just trying to work out. I mean, what we don't want to do is, obviously, you know, we're using quite a lot of the fascias to make the focus the outside, not the inside. But obviously, for them working inside, to make sure that there's plenty of light, that wood is reflecting quite nicely, isn't it, here? So it's whether or not, you know, we should be painting them a different colour inside, like Anita said.
Black is going to make it more difficult inside.
It's going to be quite dark, and if you've got dark roofs and everything else, just...
I mean, it looked great from my perspective.
Yeah.
So if you do it black, I'm happy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But that probably shouldn't be what leads you to say.
It's just, you know what I mean? It's just trying to make it a workable light in here for them.
I mean, inside you could even do just a clear coat.
Yeah, you could do that as well. Yeah.
Just so they can wipe it down, you know, if they get like sauces and stuff on the sides. I think it does need that, to be fair.
Worried about things like oil splatter and stuff like that.
And I mean, we've got to do a fire coat over them anyway, because they're timber. So the hatch should be finished with a load of this trim as well. So it can't be finished like that.
Nice.
Do you know what I mean? Just to finish it all off, and we're probably going to do the same on the sides. So, like that look. So it kind of frames everything. Happy with that. I think, you know, the brief was, we want you to try and create a semi-permanent solution that doesn't look like it's semi-permanent, that looks like it's built there. And obviously we've got to be able to de-rig that and rig that in the right amount of time, and we've achieved that. But I think that looks really good. I think if you couldn't see that marquee top standing from here, you wouldn't know that was like a non-permanent structure. It looks to me like that's meant to be there. Yeah.
I'm actually quite impressed.
Yeah, no, mate, you've done a great job on that. Honestly, done a really good job on that. I mean, with the amount of plans that you made for it, you know what I mean, I was hoping that it would come out quite well.
I mean, actually, I think when you look at it from here, it's got wow. When you tap to the side in it as well, you actually see that it's like a 3D solid thing.
Yeah, well, what I said to James was just now, we were just looking at it, and I was saying the great thing about it is now, obviously, you know, when you get your marquee sides and they're flapping in the wind, and you know, it doesn't look, it lets it down hugely. Yeah. What we've created is a U shape of timber with the marquee fitting in behind it. So it gets rid of all of that. Yeah. It gets rid of all those kind of any ripped marquee sides or damage or anything like that. And it doesn't matter if we've got a single one that's a U shape all the way around, or we've got a block of 10 of them that end with the U shape. It's just one big U, and because of that, all the marquee is hidden, everything's out the way. It looks great. It looks great. I'm really happy with that. So I hope the clients will like it as well. I think they will.
Just 24 more to build, eh?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we've got quite a lot of them already built, to be honest with you. So, but we didn't want to kind of press the go button on the production fully until we were happy with the design. Now, most of the fascias were going to be made like this because we knew they would work. It's just what the actual aesthetics were going to be. But we decided to go with this timber black and green kind of greenery look, and I'm really happy with it. I think that's come out really well.
What do you think about a logo on the bottom, Scott?
I don't think it needs to scream Feast Streat.
No, nor do I.
I mean, I think it needs to have the brands, and if you're looking for it, it's there.
Yeah. Also, the other thing which I was thinking about earlier is that we do get sometimes even with Feast Streat on, we've had a lot of branding on it in the past, and they don't always read it.
No.
And what they tend to do is, if they really like it, they come up to our team, don't they?
Yeah.
We had that recently, and somebody contacted us directly for a job, and we went and did it for them. So I think there's enough on there. I think it's okay, and I think it also makes life easier for repainting those counters every time they go in, so that we don't have to take the branding off, repaint it, put it back on again. So that makes that really easy to just make sure that it's really clean every time it goes out, as in newly painted.
Speed things up.
Can you say that again?
Good, I'm back. So, what do you think about sauces in terms of, if we do it ourselves, obviously that adds time onto how fast we can turn around each dish.
Yeah.
If we pass that on to the customer, obviously that means they can choose what sauce they want. Because some people have weird combinations of sauces as well.
Yeah.
But if we do that, how do we do that, and how do we make it?
It's got to be an area, hasn't it?
Could be, well, I was thinking like a little hanging thing that hangs on the front that has the sauces in, but then you're blocking the queue anyway, aren't you?
Yeah,
So
you've got the same problem really, haven't you?
Yeah.
I think there needs to be a dedicated sauce area, or we need to put it on. It needs to be one or the other, doesn't it? We either need to do it, or if we're doing a very high volume service. I mean, Ledger, we have a sauce table, don't we?
Yeah.
So maybe on the very high volume ones, we could just put something in. It's just difficult to do without it looking shabby, because people get sauce and they just spray it everywhere, and it's a mess very quickly. You have to have somebody maintaining it all the time, which is fine. We can do that. We can have somebody doing that, but I think it needs to be. For high volume, I think it needs to be the sauce areas over there.
Yeah.
So, and like you say, because people sometimes want really random combinations, don't they?
Yeah.
So, rather than saying, "Can I have this? Can I have that?" It's just go over there, help yourself to whatever you want. So, but again, I think that needs cover, because again, when it rains, it isn't great either.
What I was just thinking, I mean, it's a bit out there, but we can pretty much do anything with these fronts, can't we? In terms of, so if we've got a 5 block, could you have a centre section that isn't a full gazebo? It's literally an opening that we build a specific frame for, that you literally has everything in there, and you just do your sauces.
You're just massively increasing your own workload there, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're going to make more frames for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've only got 70 odd frames to make as it is.
I think now that we've got this done now, and we know where we're heading, I can start getting some of the staff to jump on some of the jobs that I was doing all myself, because I know where we're at, where we're going with it.
Yeah.
So like hammering on all those fascia boards, just get someone on that whilst I'm framing, get someone then straight onto painting. John's got to do that. I think he's done a really good job.
Yeah, John's got it really crisp. So, but you need someone like him, don't you? They're very particular about how they do it, and they really care. So I think I'm not a great painter, so I'm not judging anybody else's painting. But if you paint the way I paint, and that is that I just want it over and done with as quick as possible, because it's a type of torture. So John and Anita aren't like that. So I think let's get some of the guys in who can put the fascia boards on properly, and then pass it over to them. Let them get it painted, and then we'll just roll it out from there. So Today's 26th of March, so that is almost 4 months since we started building our new concessions for this project, from an initial idea that I had back in September last year. You're fired.
Yeah, ruined it.
So far, we've managed to get them built ready for Stratford launch, and the reaction that we've had has been phenomenal. We've put them into pretty much consistently into Stratford. Obviously, that's our regular food court that everybody knows. Other than that, they've just gone into our horse racing client site. So I think we've been into Wolverhampton, we've pulled them into Hereford. We did the Midlands Grand National at Uttoxeter, which was 9 of our new units in there, which looked fantastic all across the site. We've also done Chepstow. And other than that, this weekend is the first weekend they're going into sites with other clients. When we put it out on social media, it was just a soft post really by me. It wasn't even handled by James. It was just me kind of posting out saying, these are our new concessions and this is what they look like today on our launch day. And I was contacted by a major festival operator at that point. They really liked the concessions. We started chatting and we've done some stuff together in the past, and at the moment we're in talks with doing 3 major festivals with them. I can't say who they are yet because it's not contracted, but we are going to be doing their guest experience for them, so giving them a really high level of food and concession aesthetics into their guest experience zones, so which is still very big because of the size of the festivals, 8 to 10,000 people in those zones alone. So we're doing those. Some of our racecourse sites are really keen to see potentially us build these as seasonal builds in their sites. So 2 are going into Windsor. I've already posted about that. I'm talking to 2 other race courses about putting those in as well, with a view to maybe putting a lot more in with a lot of the recognised horse racing sites that you know all around the country. So to do this, it would be seasonal builds rather than to event build, which for us is a huge game changer. It helps with our operations. It's less risk to the client in case we have truck problems, and we can make the concession look even better than they do now. Just overall, it is just a much more streamlined option that will give all racecourse guests an even better service.
Nice. And so where are we in terms of how many units we've got? You mentioned that we're almost at 25. Where are we going from there?
So that is a difficult question really, and the reason for that is we're on 25 concessions built so far, which is needed. We've had to get them rushed quick because we've got nearly all of them out this weekend, and we've definitely got them all out next weekend. With regard to build-ups, with the way the work is coming in now with these new concessions and people wanting them, we're probably going to need about 50 build-ups, I would say. But the reason why I say it's difficult to answer is obviously it will also depend on our horse racing clients, on how many they would take as seasonal builds, because they would be built different to the build-ups that we've got. The build-ups obviously need to be able to go up and down on a one-day commission if necessary, so they have to be very versatile to be able to do that. With a seasonal build, we can put these in as proper cabins, and so these would be built with floors, ceilings, permanent hand washing, not mobile hand washing. There would be commando plugs to them, so all the lighting would be fixed into them and everything else. So they are a much more complex build, but if we are able to build these for our client across their group, it means that we would free up more equipment from that are build-ups. So at the moment the answer is I don't know, but we need lots.